Hey, today I want to talk about something most people avoid thinking about, but it becomes one of the most important parts of your financial life over time: trust and estate planning. Now, I get it. This doesn't sound exciting. It sounds like something later in life, something only wealthy people deal with. But the truth is, this is really about one thing: control over what happens to everything you've built. Let's start simple. Estate planning is the process of deciding what happens to your money, your property, your assets if something happens to you. That can include bank accounts, real estate, investments, personal belongings, everything. Without a plan, those decisions don't go to you. They go to the legal system, which is a problem and which is something you don't want. And let me tell you, without a plan, those decisions don't go to you. They go to the legal system, like I said. And that's where things like probate comes in. Probate is the court process that distributes your assets if there's no clear plan in place. It can take time and cost money. It may not always reflect your wishes exactly the way you intended. Now, this is where trusts come in. A trust is a legal structure that allows you to place assets under the management of a trustee who then distributes them according to your instructions. Think of it like setting rules in advance for how your assets should be handled. One of the most benefits of a trust is control. You decide how and when your assets are distributed, not just after death, but sometimes even during your lifetime, depending on the structure. Another major benefit is privacy. Unlike wills that often go through public probate court, trusts can keep your financial matters more private. Now, trusts come in different forms: revocable and irrevocable. But the key idea is the same. You're creating structure around your assets so they're managed according to your plan. Let's bring in the bigger picture here. Estate planning isn't just about money, it's about the people. It's about protecting your family, your business, your dependents, and anyone who relies on you financially or emotionally. Because without a plan, your assets don't just disappear, but they can become harder to access, slower to distribute, and more complicated for the people you care about. Now let's talk about something people don't think about until it's too late: beneficiaries. A beneficiary is the person or entity you name to receive your assets. This could be on life insurance policies, retirement accounts, or within a trust itself. And here's something more important: beneficiary designations often override what's written in a will. So if those are updated, your assets might not go to where you think they will. That's why estate planning isn't a one time task. It's something that needs to be reviewed and updated as your life changes. Marriage, children, new property, business changes, all of those things should be a trigger for a review of your plan. Now, let's talk about wills for a second because they're still part of the picture. A will is a legal document that outlines how you want your assets distributed after death. It can also name guardians for minor children, which is one of the most important roles it serves. But a will alone doesn't always avoid probate. That's why many people combine wills and trusts as part of a broader estate strategy. Now, I want to be clear: this isn't about fear. This is about responsibility. Estate planning is really about removing uncertainty. It's about making things easier for the people you care about, not harder. Because in life, families don't just deal with grief, they also deal with paperwork, accounts, legal processes, and financial decisions at the same time. And having a plan in place can reduce a lot of that stress. Let's zoom out. Trust and estate planning is really about three things: control, deciding what happens to your assets; clarity, removing confusion from your family; continuity, making sure that what you've built continues in a structured way. And the earlier you think about it, the more options you typically have. Because estate planning isn't just for later, it's for whenever you start building anything worth protecting, right? So whether you have a lot of assets you're still building, the principle stays the same. If it matters to you, it deserves a plan. And that's really what trust and estate planning is at its core. It's not just paperwork, it's preparation.